Alright. Welcome. Let's try this again. Welcome to another episode of Stone Coyote's Garage. I think I've called it that before. That would be awesome. I think it would be a first. Or whatever the heck I call this show. Series? Show? Whatever, man. So, we are building to the end of an era. We? I? Me? Me are building. Ho ho ho. Okay, alright. So, I should mention that I went ahead and accidentally, added a couple of... Oh, look, my sound isn't on. I'm pretty sure that sound is on. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me, but my speaker wasn't on. But anyways, I added a dialogue sorter function to the BPI NPC and a toggle active interaction function to set BPI NPC. If you're treating this as a tutorial, you'll want to add those yourself. It's just a problem that I'm gonna run into soon, that I'm trying to preempt. But as I haven't run into it yet, I don't know how it's going to play out exactly. And that problem is actually really close. For one, I would really like to find a better way of doing this, choice sorting. Really don't know a better way to do it, though, at the moment. We are definitely... Yeah, this is messy. I don't like it. I really don't like this. What's it? There has to be a better way of doing this. Wow. Well, okay. Well, the thing I added those for is, I'm being silly here. Do I have... That is such a terrible thing to name that. Let's check in here. Okay, we have their name, we have their busy. They are interacting with player. That shouldn't need to be saved. That should, and that should, though. Now, the reason I've done this is because I'm going to do something in a bit of a sloppy way. Well, yeah, that'll be fine. That will be fine. Watch the magic, folks. Just for giggles. don't think I'm going to use that input, but it's nice to check. Is that storyteller? Is this where my BPI interface is? Yes, yes it is. Okay. Pardon me. Man, I hope you've been able to hear all this. That would be a bummer otherwise. I think so. Let's see. Yeah, the levels look fine. Okay. Alright, What was I doing? Let's check it out. I'm gonna make this dialogue sorter. It's gonna need more information, I'm pretty sure. And dialogue sorter. If interaction is active, it needs another page of dialogue. It needs an input. Don't need that at the moment. Don't need that at the moment. Don't need that at the moment. Do need that. Yeah, I'll figure that out. No, I need to figure that out now. And PC's the only one who will ever need a dialogue sorter. What am I thinking? Okay, so in the dialogue sorter, we're going to want and that's going to be an ST dialogue. guess I can macro this. I can't function it. But I'm going to be using it more than once. Well, if I use it again, I'll do it again, right? This guy doesn't have his NPC stats. I've sort of lost track of what I was doing. What an interesting episode this is going to be, right? Alright. So just to refresh myself, I'm trying to simplify that. How am I doing this? No. This is all wrong. All wrong, I think. This has to be here. Why wouldn't I just use this? No, this is correct. Hold on. Selling myself short here. Okay. That would have been funny. Okay, now, you see, the reason I done did this, I believe, I'm still sort of figuring this out in my head as I'm doing it, you know? But the reason I did that is because we're going to be... Oh, that was pointless. I think it wasn't pointless. I think it'll still clean it up a bit, or at least make it a little more fail-safe. Trying to remember the specific reason I got to implementing this tonight. I thought of something while I was cooking dinner, and I was like, you know what? That whole rat's nest needs this. Wonder what it was. I'm sure some of you have figured that out before I have. You're like, oh, you fool, you need to do this. I didn't mean to make you sound like Goofy. I don't know what you sound like. Sorry. Do we need to jump? You... I don't know if we're going to use your jump. So, overlapping is active. Right. So, because... Also... Oops. Need to do more. I'm very sorry about that. Excuse me. Which means... Because obviously... It's not like we're gonna be using the NPC. No, we could use... No, we need to use... No. I'm being silly. Interaction. Which will be... Interact. What else? Move you over here. Yeah, we're gonna need a dialogue sorter as well. Good. And we're gonna need to toggle the active interaction. It is essentially the exact same thing as the other one. it's exactly the same as the other one, but it's a different... What? What is this? Oh, there it is. My bad. Except instead of NPC info, this one is going to be... What? Sort of funny, I didn't have this before. I think. Did I save it in a funny place? Almost certainly not. Well, the other data is st object. Oh, jeez. There we go. Okay. This. No. This. How long is this episode running? We're fine. Okay, so it has BPI interaction instead. Toggle active interaction. Well, now that looks bad. Why is it like that? Alright, is what it is. So, as I should have explained, well, let's move these jokers down. Anyway, as I should have explained, this then checks the interaction so that we aren't doing NPC stuff. Because... Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to do it down here too, aren't I? That's alright. These things happen. Yep, that. Go. I went ahead and put that check interaction shit. Pardon me. I went ahead and did that check interaction function, so I don't know, maybe I should actually, do that? Nah, it'll sort that on the actor's end. So it's not an NPC, and it's not. Really? That's what I called it? Yes, I did. Okay. I want to rename you. So, we do that, we do that, we do that. Player interacts, does that. So we need to test this. Do I? Nope. Okay. Containers sounds a little better. This just needs to be an actor. BP container base. Base. What was that song? If you know, put it in the comments down below. Okay, so we need interaction. What else there? That is so weird. They're the ones I pasted over, aren't they? Oh, wow. Let's see. Wait, no, it's here. Nope, it's still there. Weird. Okay. Well, is what it is, right? So, check interaction, we need object stats, object info. That seems silly. Why am I not just... Sometimes I wonder about myself. Oops. Okay. So let's just go ahead. Where you at? There you at. I'm overcomplicating this for myself. Alright, simple enough on that. Okay. Get their data. Let's just go ahead and plug that in now. And this is container base. Just for testing purposes, of course. Alright. Toggle interaction. Sets it up. Interact. What are you doing, Leo? Yeah, this actually actually should transfer over perfectly. Do that. Okay, open the dialog. Speaker name is none. Dialog content is make it. What it does is you have opened the container base. Good job. Response. Collect loot or something, I don't know. And actually, you already opened the container base. Still, good job. Okay. Alrighty. And I'm gonna need a container base in the world. I'm on the wrong map. Let's go back to the neighborhood. You need a cube. see if that works. No. Not at all. Well, that's interesting. It just wants more. Yay, okay. Oh boy, that was something that I needed to do. Yeah, sometimes you bark up the wrong tree, you know. But if you get there in the end, it doesn't really matter. Ooh, that is ugly. That's a little better. That should probably be a local variable, but hey. So, with that taken care of, it wasn't a very exciting episode, but we're running into about the length of time that I like these episodes to go for. I solved a problem. That's good. I sorted out the response texts that are going in there. I can always add more buttons and whatnot. I'm sure there's a way to populate buttons into an array to have as many as I need, but I don't know what that way is, and it sounds really tedious. So I'm gonna keep doing it this way. Can't imagine needing more than 5 choices, right? This is supposed to be a relatively simple little RPG. Okay, so got let's test it on the player too, just to be sure, or the character, just to be safe. Now hold on. I see. Let's try now. Perfect. Yeah, I am sure there is. But that's alright. That's just testing that. Alright, so we made the choices a little more controlled, a little more dynamic at the same time. A bit of a juxtaposition there, but that's my favorite kind of position. Okay, got all that. We added the, time to discuss what the main thing was. This now allows it to specifically interact with NPCs or, regular interactive objects, depending on what it's interacting with, so it can throw those different functions out, or, interfaces out. And it should do less calling that way, you know, it's not like, oh, okay, talk to both of them all at the same time. Not only that, we also added the failsafe so that it will only talk to the one that we are directly... Oh, let's test it. Okay. So, we need another actor. EP, Crumbly Stone. Go in here, save it, settings, interaction, interfaces, interact. Whoopsie. Make it red, all angry. Less blue. Okay. And let's, you're a sphere. Oopsie, good. And no whoopsie, excellent. So, it does indeed only do it with the one that we are actively looking at. Or is right in front of us. I'm gonna design this one so that items never overlap vertically. That way I don't have to put a little camera line trace in. It's not that hard of a thing to do, especially from a first-person puppet, but I'd rather not use it if I can avoid it. Okay, so this episode is done. You've seen what we made. Always save. And I hope this one wasn't too boring. There was a lot of silence because I was putting a lot of really hard thinking into it. But you got to see someone overcome a difficult challenge. Alrighty, that'll do it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe below. I really don't care if you do. I really don't.